This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Diagnosing the Aftermarket A to Z. I'm Matt Fonslow, and today I think we can learn something from The Karate Kid, the movie. Accomplish more by starting now. That's the motto of Repair Shop of Tomorrow, a Napa Auto Care exclusively endorsed vendor. Repair Shop of Tomorrow will look at productivity, efficiencies, effective labor rate, average hours per car, labor profit margin, measure and manage labor, and how you can create net profit. Interested in Repair Shop of Tomorrow? Call 440-545-1230 for a free 20-minute no-obligation consultation, or contact your servicing Napa Auto Parts store. Yeah, I said it. The Karate Kid, the original movie. And I know the popular scenes or themes are at the very end where Daniel LaRusso wins the competition against the antagonist, I guess, Johnny, with a kick to the face, which I tend to agree with Johnny. I hate to say it was illegal, but he won. And part of that moral of that story was overcoming injury, overcoming odds, and hard work. And really, I think there are no bad students, only bad teachers. But that's not what I'm talking about today. There's probably many, many different lessons to be learned from the movie. I mean, all in all, it's up there with any classic, especially from that decade. What I want to talk about is a scene that I think kind of just hides under the radar a little bit, or just kind of cruises under the radar. And it's short, but I find it really powerful and profound. There's a scene where Daniel has had a couple of rough days at school, on the way home from events, and specifically Johnny and his friends, the Cobra Kais, are following him. Daniel has a BMX bike, or BMX style bike, and they have motorcycles, and they run him down and push him down a hill, and flips over the bike. Bike's bent up, or Daniel, does some more bending, throws it in the dumpster, goes to school, and when he comes home in the evening, Mr. Miyagi has fixed up his bike. And no, I'm not talking about that for auto repairs, fixing up the bike, but he not only fixed up the bike really nice, he lit it almost perfectly. So when Danielson's walking up them stairs, that bike looks terrific. So big plus on the lighting. I suppose we could talk about lighting and DVIs, but that's not where I'm going. Daniel sees the bike fixed up, goes down to Mr. Miyagi's shop, if you will, at the apartment complex, and thanks him for fixing up his bike, and is watching Mr. Miyagi clipping a bonsai tree. I just feel like this scene flies too far under the radar. I don't know that I've ever seen it discussed how really meaningful this scene specifically, and what they're about to do as it applies to our world or worlds. So Daniel's watching Mr. Miyagi clip away. He's asking him a few questions about how he learned to do it, learned it from his father. Where did he learn it? Not Japan, Okinawa. And essentially he sits Daniel down in front of a tree and says, well, you try. Here you go. Go wild. And Daniel's very hesitant. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do that. And Mr. Miyagi, as Mr. Miyagi is, with the very short, single word responses, single word of encouragement. But in this case, he tells Daniel to close his eyes and picture the tree. Essentially, in your mind, picture the perfect tree. Get down to details. Picture this tree in your mind. And now open your eyes and start clipping and tying. Make this tree look like what you had pictured in your mind. And Daniel says something to the tune of, how will I know what's right? And Mr. Miyagi responds, if it came from you, it's going to be right. So how in the world does this apply to us? And I got to level with you. I initially was thinking of young techs or people just coming into the profession, but it really does expand out. And I suppose it could jump to the end. It applies to everything. It applies to life. But I feel like a lot of questions I get, just Facebook groups, conversations at, classes, training and conferences, running into just people, specifically technicians, messages, emails. How do you get to, they're saying get to where you are. I don't even know what that means. There's certain ideas of, where somebody ranks, and I'm pretty sure, at least in my case, that is not true. But I understand the idea of what they're after, and so I don't want to sound dismissive either. That with your career as a tech, where do you want to get as a tech? And I don't want to imply there's any one perfect or not even perfect, but just like one more desirable level or area of expertise or strengths above another. I don't. I would find that to be ridiculous. But you do have to look within yourself and what would make you happy, what would drive you. And I suppose that could get really dicey, that you might get ultra focused on one specific area of auto repair. But there might be a slightly larger qualification or, area designation. One idea would be diagnostics. Like, I want to be a diag tech. I just want to diagnose vehicles. I would maybe suggest to step back a little bit more. I mean, not that being a diag tech is not worth striving for, but also have to consider the reality of that. Is it plausible where you're working? Which plays into this too. So maybe to get better focused on the idea here of the bonsai tree is maybe it's worth your time to close your eyes and just think about where you want to be. What do you want to do? Where do you want your career to head? What direction would you like that to be? And maybe it's something very specific, like I want to be the best alignment tech in town. I want to make this much money, or maybe not even a dollar amount. Maybe it's like, I want this lifestyle. I want to, own a shop or have some say. I almost don't want to just sit here and rattle off examples because I think it detracts from the idea, but to take a few moments, just close your eyes and think about what it is you're after. Where would you like your career to go? What does this look like? What does the completed picture look like? What does the completed bonsai tree look like? And now, open your eyes figuratively rather than literally. Hey guys, Matt here talking to you about what the Napa Auto Care Center program can do for your business. You probably already know the Napa brand is the most recognized and trusted name in the automotive aftermarket industry. In fact, studies show nearly 95% of customers recognize Napa and associate it with quality parts, service, and technical expertise. So why not complete a Pro Image upgrade and take advantage of that? Pro Image is a co-branding program for the exterior and interior of your shop. On the outside, it includes the Napa colors and distinctive Napa signage. While the public may know you as a reliable, locally owned business, a Pro Image upgrade helps set your shop apart from the competition even further. It is also a visual signal to your customers and potential customers that you and Napa are partners. Most importantly, Pro Image really works. This co-branding opportunity has helped Napa Auto Care Centers across the country increase their car counts and sales. In fact, those that have completed the Pro Image project enjoy an average of 23% sales increase during their first year. Pro Image upgrades are also available for the interior of your shop. A Pro Image interior upgrade transforms your customer waiting area from merely utilitarian to warm and welcoming. The goal is to maintain your shop's independent identity while enhancing the customer's experience. You can get a free look at what a Pro Image exterior or interior upgrade can look like by visiting the Napa Auto Care member site and clicking on the Napa Pro Image link under the Napa Pro Image tab, or contact your local Napa Auto Parts store. Your servicing Napa store can tell you more about Pro Image plus the hundreds of other reasons to become part of the Napa Auto Care family, the largest network of independent auto repair shops in the country. What is it going to take to get where I need to go? And maybe the great thing about this over a bonsai tree is that, the bonsai tree is going to be clipping away, cutting away. In life, in our careers, we don't have to just clip away. We may have to clip away, but we can add. Maybe we need to add training. Maybe we need to add reaching out to a network or joining a network. Maybe it's adding friends. Maybe it's, a change of venue. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a conversation. Maybe it's telling somebody. I think if you listen to the episode with Dutch Silverstein, we talk about, or Dutch specifically mentions that you can't sit there with your mouth shut and assume the shop owner or manager is going to figure out what makes you tick. You may have to approach management and have a discussion. Talk about this picture, talk about this plan, and even discussing timeframes, because let's be honest, we're in an instant gratification society. So I figured out what I want to do and I want it to happen next week. May not be realistic, not just from the shop's perspective or the management's perspective, but period. So that there's got to be a discussion. What is a reasonable time frame? Reasonable from your point of view too. And I don't mean because I want it, but because it's going to take time to achieve this. Depending on where you're at. That's where that honesty thing comes in. It's brutal. It's so brutal. It's also extremely important to level with yourself. This is where I'm at. You don't have to tell anybody, just so you know. This is where I'm at. This is the reality. And to get where I want to go, I need to invest in training, equipment. I got to spend time with other technicians that are way smarter than me, who can challenge my way of thinking, can challenge my approach. And again, it's not, it's so easy to just kind of fall into the discussion about diagnostics, because it's kind of, I don't know, it's the romantic position to have. And I guess, to be totally honest, that's the position I kind of hold. And it's the one I strived for early on. Like, that's what I wanted to do. The only reason I stayed, I was probably going to graduate from my 2-year to get my diploma or degree. I would have stayed just to finish it. I started it. I'm going to finish it. But it wouldn't have wrapped me up the way it did if I didn't see the technology aspect and the scan tool and the diagnostics and the puzzles. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And lucky for me, a lot of my competition, if you will, and colleagues were not interested. They thought I was nuts. They still think I'm nuts. When it really comes down to it, they think I'm nuts for just caring about electronics, diagnostics. How is it supposed to work? And I think they're insane for loving pulling engines, pulling transmissions, taking engines apart, putting them back together, suspension and steering, banging that stuff out and doing it so fast and so well. And A, I don't think I could do it. And B, so I'm a little jealous. And B, man, that's just not my bag. I feel like this translates to more than just our careers. This also translates to, if you're a shop owner or a manager, where do you want your shop to be? What do you want your shop to be? What do you want your repair facility to be? Not just to you, but to your current clients and your future clients? What do you want it to be to your employees or those that it's kind of one of those weird things is the employees support the business or does the business support the employees? And it's kind of back and forth, right? They need each other, but what do you want it to be to them? I think time with your eyes shut, letting your imagination run wild and thinking about that, picturing that bonsai tree, picturing that goal or goals. Now, what is it going to take to get there? What do I have to do? What do I have to trim these needles, these branches? Do I need to tie this up? Do I need to add? Do I got to add some stuff here? We can't get there from here. To get to where we want to go, or I want to go, I can't get there from here without doing this and this. And then I think it's not unrealistic to say this applies to life in general, just into your life. What do you want for your life? And how are you going to get it? How are you going to earn it? And again, now, are we clipping away toxicity? Are we tying up loose ends? Are we adding to our life? Be it in whatever that is, adding. So kind of tie this all up. I think might be worth your time to maybe give The Karate Kid another shot to view. If you haven't seen the TV series Cobra Kai, it's definitely worth watching the movies, all of them, except maybe the fourth one and the one with Jaden Smith. I mean, I like Jackie Chan and all, but if you're going to watch Cobra Kai, the series is great. It is great. Probably going to want to watch the first 3 Karate Kids to kind of get a lot of the references. And in this case, I would highly recommend watching the movie, and I would highly recommend turning the volume up a little bit and leaning in when Danielson goes to thank Mr. Miyagi for repairing his bike, and just listen to that and let that simmer a little bit, because it hit me pretty hard. And then maybe after the movie, find somewhere quaint, quiet, close your eyes, and think about, what does your tree look like? And then what is it going to take to make it look the way you picture it in your mind? And you know what? Even if it never really does look exactly like that tree, how much better will things be just because you have a purpose, you have a goal? Thank you, everyone, for listening. Don't forget, you can reach me in many different ways via Facebook Messenger. You can email me at mattfonslowpodcast@gmail.com. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I very much look forward to the next one. Before I forget to, we're on YouTube. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, leave some comments, and if you have any ideas for further episodes or you want to be on the podcast, again, please reach out. Thank you again.
You've been listening to Matt Fonslow, diagnosing the aftermarket A to Z on the Aftermarket Radio Network. Follow Matt on your favorite listening app. He's very interested in what you have to say. Let him know what you'd like him to cover and come on the show. Matt is all for advancing the aftermarket. Find Matt Fonslow on social media and connect, or on aftermarketradionetwork.com.